Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to another episode of News Dose, where we give you all of the latest news in the gaming industry. And we got an interesting tease for Nintendo to talk about today, and how there may be a possibility for a new Splatoon game, or maybe just an announcement for 2020. I wasn't really expecting a new Splatoon for the Nintendo Switch, but maybe it is possible after all, so we're going to discuss that. We also have a lot of other Nintendo-related content to talk about today, including a Switch Pro, a new AAA port may be coming to the Switch, and there is multiple Nintendo Switch SKUs in GameStop system right now, so we're going to talk about those things as well. And plus, we also have a new Final Fantasy VII leak, so stay tuned for that. But yes, let's talk about Nintendo. We're first going to start out with this Splatoon tease, and as I said before, I never really thought Nintendo would make another Splatoon game for the Nintendo Switch because it seems like it's a franchise that may only need one game per generation. But honestly, the franchise has been really successful and it could start to be a mainstay for Nintendo's games going forward. So the Splatoon Twitter account tweeted out a simple Happy New Year's post, and on the surface it just looks like they're wishing you a happy 2020. Seems rather normal, a lot of people and companies do this type of thing, but then as you look a little closer, there is some hidden messages in here, and that is plural, there is hidden messages. If you look in the water, you can actually see the reflection and how it spells out SOS, which of course means an untraceable person is broadcasting a message of emergency. Now things are a little bit more interesting, because then you can begin to speculate, what would this SOS be? Well, as you look a little closer, there is even more hidden messages within this picture that says "Save our salmons." And if you're unaware, salmons do play a role in Splatoon, which are the salmonids. That is the antagonist of the salmon run mode in Splatoon. So what could this possibly mean? Could Splatoon 3 actually be announced for the Nintendo Switch this year? I mean, I'm not going to rule this out, but I also think it's very possible that we could also see a Splatoon spinoff that involves these salmonids. Could you play as the salmonids in this spinoff game? I'm not really sure, but Nintendo is pretty notorious for making a lot of different spinoffs with their bigger franchises, whether that be Mario, they do it with Pokemon, Metroid, and really the list just kind of goes on and on. I mean, they've been doing this type of thing for years and years. So yeah, I could very easily see them doing a spinoff with Splatoon. The main question really is what could they do with the Splatoon spinoff? So I want to hear what your thoughts are on this, and let me know in the comments below on what you think that they could do with the Splatoon franchise. Now the next question is when could they actually announce this? And there really is no guarantee as to when they could, but right now there is a rumor floating around that a new Nintendo Direct could be coming this month of January, so could they talk about a new Splatoon there? Maybe, but there is a few other things that they could talk about there, which we're going to talk about right now. One of these things is Metro Redux, which has kind of been rumored for the Nintendo Switch for quite a while now, but it seems pretty official that this will be happening because it did get a new rating on the PEGI board, which of course is the rating system that lets you know how old you should be in order to play a game. So it does look like Metro Redux will be coming to the Nintendo Switch, which is kind of becoming a trend for Nintendo lately. The Switch did just get Alien Isolation and even got The Witcher 3, which was a big surprise, but now it seems to be getting Metro Redux as well, which is another big AAA graphically demanding game. I think developers are starting to figure out that they can get these games to work on the Switch with a few sacrifices and still have them look reasonably well, and I think they're probably doing so successfully. I just think that the Nintendo Switch being a portable console is such a big selling point, so even if you have already played these games, the fact that you can have them on a portable console, I think people don't really mind double dipping with these games, or maybe it's your first time ever and you get to play these games on a Nintendo console. Now, Metro actually seems like it would be an announcement that's a little bit more imminent than something like Splatoon, which could really be announced anytime in 2020. So I'm thinking that this will be shown this month if Nintendo Direct is indeed coming this month, which I think is very plausible. So I would expect to see a trailer for this sometime rather soon, And there is some other stuff that Nintendo could talk about there, such as Tokyo Mirage, which releases, I believe it's this month. And then you have Animal Crossing New Horizons coming out soon, so I think it's as good as a time as any. And speaking of Nintendo, there is still more to talk about because there has been a new GameStop SKU listing that was posted on Twitter that reveals about 12 placeholders right now listed, and this really seems like more evidence that there will be a Nintendo Direct coming soon. And based off this listing, it does sound like we may be getting some new reveals there. Could Splatoon be there? I'm not really sold on that one just yet, but because that 2020 tease was posted, I wouldn't really rule it out either. There was also that leak about a week or two before the Game Awards that talked about 3 new Metroid games. If that leak was true, maybe it could show up at this Nintendo Direct. A possible Metroid Trilogy remaster alongside a Super Metroid remake. And there is one other thing that I did find interesting, as a business analyst is predicting a Switch Pro to release in 2020. Of course, last year there was a lot of rumors about a Switch Pro that just never really ended up happening. I mean, we did get an updated version of the current Switch with a longer battery life, but not really a Switch Pro. This analyst, however, though, does believe there will be a Switch Pro for $400, 4K support, and bigger cartridges. Now granted, this is just one analyst making a prediction, this is no confirmation, so don't take it as that. I would like to see it personally, and I'd buy one immediately if Nintendo did something like this, but whether it actually happens is an entirely different story. On one side of things, it would help them better compete with the upcoming PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, but the thing is, Switch's biggest selling point is, like I said earlier, the handheld component. I will ask though, if Nintendo did manage to make a Switch Pro this year, would you buy one? Let me know in the comments below. In other news, Dragon Quest XII has been confirmed to be in development by the creator Yuji Horii. Do keep in mind that this is early in development, so we're probably not going to see it for a few years, but it is nice to hear that they are already working on it. I think one of the best JRPGs made this generation was Dragon Quest XI, and I like how they kept it like old school turn-based JRPGs. Whether they stick with that type of system is yet to be known, but this is good news for Dragon Quest fans. As with any Dragon Quest game though, I will be interested to hear what systems they make it for. I would like to see it multi-platform out of the gate this time, instead of staggering the releases like we saw with Dragon Quest XI. I've heard Dragon Quest XI did really well on the Switch, so I'd like to see them release it there again, so at least do PlayStation, Nintendo, and the PC, and I wonder if we will get to see Dragon Quest finally go to the Xbox as well. I think that would be pretty cool. Now moving on, the last thing I want to talk about real quick is a big Final Fantasy VII Remake leak. So in the last few days, the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo leaked, and some people have apparently already played it, but it got even worse for Square Enix because data miners have already found full game spoilers and have even found hints of a PC port. I'm not going to talk about any of these spoilers, and I'm not going to show any footage, so you don't have to worry about that. That's not what this channel is about, but do know that they are out there. This PC port thing though, I've seen some people kind of interested in this, but I don't think it really should be all that surprising. We know that Final Fantasy VII is a year-long timed exclusive for the PlayStation. Now maybe it comes to PC sooner than that, and that year-long exclusivity is just on the console side of things, but nonetheless, I would expect the Final Fantasy VII demo to go up on PlayStation rather soon, probably next week sometime. Anyways though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget to hit that bell notification and subscribe button. Peace out.